Hi everybody, I'm dekutony and welcome back to this ongoing mini series of honest talking. This time we're going to discuss. I'm going to discuss the Nintendo GameCube wish list for Nintendo Switch Online. Wait, I'm sorry, Nintendo Classics as they're calling it now. So yeah, last year the Nintendo Switch 2 released, and exclusively for that system we now have access to a small library of GameCube games. I know I should have talked about this last year, but 2025 happened. I, I didn't I didn't upload anything. So yeah, sorry about that. We're going to. It's not a big wish list. So in this video, I'm not just going to talk about the GameCube games, but also that other thing they announced last year, the Virtual Boy. They're they're adding Virtual Boy games to Nintendo Switch Online. Wow. Didn't think that would happen, let alone they're re-releasing unreleased games. I didn't I, I never thought they would do that. So that's pretty exciting. So before talking about the GameCube, just I, I want to talk about this Virtual Boy stuff for a little bit. First things first. Where's my boy Nestor? Why is Nestor's funky bowling not on this thing? Nestor's funky bowling. Like Japan is getting one more game while we don't get that other game here. Why not add Nestor's Funky Bowling? Like I know there's another bowling game they're adding to the service, but come on, I don't get it, dude. What's with the Nintendo Power and Nestor Erasure? This should not stand. So please add Nestor Funky Bowling later on. And also, speaking of unreleased games, Bound High. We put Bound High on the service, Nintendo. And also that one Facebook 2000 portal, whatever it was. You know, that would be cool. Like, there's no reason to do that. But again, there's no reason to do any of this. And also, please let people play these games on their TV. And what possible reason would you have for not letting us play those games on our television? Like, are you kidding me? Okay, so with that out of the way, let's start talking about the GameCube stuff. And compared to the previous videos I made on Nintendo Switch Online, there's not that many games I have on this list. Mostly because a lot of the games have already been ported to other platforms or even the Switch itself. There's a lot of HD remasters of GameCube era stuff. So yeah, there's not a lot of games to, to choose from, but I'll do my best. Starting things off with a meme pick, and some people may not think of it as a meme pick, but I think it's I don't think this is gonna happen at all. This is here. I wrote I wrote it like this on the list: melee, and in parentheses LMAO, because no man, that this isn't gonna happen. Like, I'm sorry, you're not getting your official melee HD ever. And listen, you already know what's gonna happen anyways. People are going to complain about the input delay. Like, this, they're just gonna try it for like a day or two, and then they're going to go back to Slippy with rollback netcode, because the netcode in the Switch Online GameCube is not very good, to put it lightly. So I don't even know why people would ask for melee on this service, concerning, you know, Slippy exists on the PC with very little input delay and better netcode. Yeah, what would be the point, unless you're like a super legal kind of person who only wants to play the official releases? Yeah, have fun with that. Now with that out of the way, let's talk about the real list. Forget about Melee. We are here for Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg. That's the real good stuff. Now this game is a 3D platformer made by Sonic Team, the same people who make Shocker, the the Sonic the Hedgehog games, and it's very fun and good. And Sega has never, ever re-released the game since, like, an obscure PC port, maybe, I think. So it would be really nice to finally have a re-release of that game, because it's really good. Sega, Nintendo, I would take a remaster. It just, the game deserves a second chance. Next up, we have a Kirby Air Ride. Yes, I know that we have the new game, which is still unbelievable to me that it actually ended up happening. Wow, like, wow, Sakurai, like, you made another Kirby game after so long, huh? You left your son, and then the last time you met your son, you killed all of his friends and the entire universe. So as an apology, you made a sequel to that one racing game. Good for you. Also, why there is not, like, for that much Forgotten Land representation? Can you answer me that question, Sakurai? Hell, why there's no Adeline and Raven in the game? No, never mind. Speaking of racing games, Mario Kart Double Dash. I think that's probably a given. We'll see that game one of these days. It's freaking Mario Kart, man. Like, I know you don't want to overshadow, like, the newest game on Switch too, but to be fair, that game was already overshadowed by the Curvy Air Riders. So I don't know what were you thinking there, especially with all the online problems that game has. So there is, Mario Kart. I'm referring to. Yeah, where's the DLC, Nintendo? Maybe Mario Kart Double Dash is the DLC. Because you have to pay money for the subscription just to play that game online. And you switch to, and this is getting depressing. Moving on. Um, oh, let's get more depressing. Animal Crossing, like the original, almost original, because it's originally an N64 game, but this will be the GameCube one. I don't know if this is gonna happen because of the new game and that got the new update and all this fun stuff. Very cool, Nintendo. Well, speaking of Sonic team developed games, how about we finally get Sonic Adventure 1 and 2? No? No, Sega? You don't want to re release those games again? Well, that's just stupid. Now it's time for the part of the show where I just start rapid firing all sorts of games. Starting with um, Patenkaitos. Those card games. I think they're card games. I don't know. I just thought it was worth putting in here. Um, Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. Zelda Four Swords. That would be cool. Online multiplayer. Even though the online isn't very good, it still would be kind of neat. The Mario sports games. Mario Golf, tennis, and of course, Superstar Baseball. All of the GameCube Mario parties, like from 4 to 7, because for some reason they made more Mario parties on GameCube than on N64 or the freaking Nintendo Wii. Um, oh, Beautiful Joe 1 and 2. That would be cool. I mean, I don't see Capcom re-releasing any of those games anytime soon. Rayman 3, you re-released Rayman 1, and Rayman 2 is on NSO now, I think. Yeah, right? Yeah. So it's time for Rayman 3, the Star Fox game. Assault and Adventures. I like adventures, mostly. Maybe this is nostalgia speaking, but hey, Assault is very good. And oh yeah, KO the Kangaroo Round 2. I like the KO character. It's a cute kangaroo with boxing gloves. Come on, or maybe a remaster of that game with modern platforms. It's on Steam. I have the game on Steam. It's time to put the game on consoles. And yeah, that's pretty much it for what I have for the regular realistic expectations. Because after this, we have the unrealistic picks, i.e., the license stuff, licensed games. And I have like four of them here, starting with uh, SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, the original one from 2003, not the remake. Now I know that the remake kind of like puts into question why would you ask for the original, but the original, it controls, it plays a bit different, sometimes better, feels more slightly more polished in some areas. Like just for the sake of preservation, I think it would be neat. Then we have the other three games, starting with the Dragon Ball Z Budokai games. I know people have a lot of nostalgia for the trilogy on PS2 or something like that. I never played the Budokai games. I just played Tenkaichi 3 and unfortunately Sagas. Remember remember that trash. But yeah, after the HD release of Budokai 1 and 3, for some reason they missed 2. And they just never re-released those games again. And probably I know the reason why, because of certain issues with the soundtracks. So this probably is never going to happen, at least in its original form. And it's nice to dream, right? Um, then we have the Naruto Clash of Ninja games. I love Clash of Ninja 2 on the GameCube, exclusive to Nintendo platforms. That series on the GameCube and the Wii. I really, really wish that they at least re-release those old Naruto 3D fighting games someday. 'Cause I really liked them back then. Please, Bandai Namco. I kind of, I'm not interested in the Ninja Storm games. Bandai Namco. You just want to play those old Clash of Ninja games again in a more accessible form. Come on, wouldn't be that difficult, right? Okay, and finally, the last game that's on here, I think, if GoldenEye 007 could get into the N64 app, can you put Nightfire on the GameCube app? This is kind of an quote unquote unpopular opinion of mine, but I like Nightfire more than GoldenEye, I think. It's simply because the game has aged better than GoldenEye. I think I like the single player more. The multiplayer was pretty fun too. I know GoldenEye is good and it's influential and all of that, but come on, how could you not like Nightfire? And that's it. That, that's really it. That's all the GameCube games I have on this list. I didn't put any more because, as I said, this era, the GameCube and PS2 era of games have a lot of re-releases over the years. I guess it's easier sometimes to just port those games over to modern platforms. I don't know. But the kind of anticlimactic, isn't it? But don't fret, or maybe start panicking because we're not done with the video just yet. Because as we did last time, with the Game Boy and GBA list, we're going to update our older lists of other platforms. Maybe some new suggestions, maybe new platforms as well. So let's get on to that, shall we? All right. So, um, the other stuff, we're going to go through all of the other lists I have on this piece of paper, and we're going to quickly go over the missing games I have written down here, starting with the NES games. And of course, the number one game I still want to see on this stupid service is Soda's Revenge, Star Tropics 2. The first Star Tropics was re-released on Nintendo Switch Online back in March of 2019. how long it's been since then? Why why are you taking so long, Nintendo? Why? What's wrong with what's wrong with this game? Hold on. Why? What possible reason you could have to not re-release this game? You already have re-released the game twice already. What possible reason you could have to not give us this game? Is it really that difficult? Like what the hell? I hate this. Just let us play this game. What is wrong with you? Anyways, Rad Racer, Conquest of the Crystal Palace, Metal Storm, The Guardian Legend, Adventure Island, Batman, and the Impossible Game Cowboy. Now I'm pretty glad that the Disney Afternoon Collection was finally made available on the Switch, and with a couple new games to boot. I wasn't expecting that. I really thank you for once. Now, Super Nintendo games, we have Super Bunk, Uni Racers, Mega Man and Bass, Jelly Boy 2, and of course, Pluck. Hashtag Justice for Pluck. Hashtag Geek Japan Star Tropics. N64 games. Rayman 2 finally got re-released, and so did Perfect Dark and Banjo Tooie. But then you got the rest of the games I mentioned in that other N64 video, like Diddy Kong Racing, Mischief Makers, Chameleon Twist, Snowboard Kids 1 and 2, Space Station Silicon Valley, Bomberman 64, and Buck Bumble. But now we have a trio of games that may or may not get added soon. Mouse, Wowsers. We got Glover, Donkey Kong 64, and the original Super Smash Bros. If you saw that one, I guess leak or whatever that was, kind of hid those free games on the N64 app a concerningly long time ago now. They still not they're still not here on this N64 app for some reason. What's them taking so long? But those are the most likely games going to be added to the service at least. But we have a couple new game additions for N64 I want to discuss. We have Hey You Pikachu. Now that game used used some sort of weird microphone sort of thing, and look, the Switch 2 has a microphone, so that can you can do that now, right? You can add this game to the service now with microphone support and all that, right? And now for the other game for N64, and this is kind of merged in with the Game Boy stuff. Mickey's Speedway USA. Now this is uh, another rare developed game, and I do like it a bit. It's a really underrated, overlooked kart racer made by the same people who made Diddy Kong Racing. And of course, the licensing with Disney and all of that, and Microsoft, that could be quite tricky to deal with. But hey, you put GoldenEye on the service, Nintendo. You could figure it out, right? And not just the N64 version, but also the Game Boy Color version as well. Maybe you could let us unlock Yui in the N64 version without the need of the transfer pack by default. Because you didn't do that with Mario Tennis and Mario Golf and the Pokemon Stadium games. For some reason, this, this Mario Tennis specifically really baffles me because it has some exclusive content tied to the transfer pack. You connect the Game Boy Color version of Mario Tennis to the N64, you could unlock some exclusive content, and the Switch version, port, whatever, just doesn't have that. Anyways, now we deal with the Game Boy, all of the Game Boy stuff. Starting with the Game Boy Color, the Mega Man Extreme games. Mega Man 1 through 5 got re-released, so Capcom may play ball with this one. Rhino Rumble, Bonk's Adventure and Bonk's Revenge, Bomberman Quest, the Hamtaro games, I still want that really badly. Croc 2, Conqueror's Pocket Tales, that could happen, is getting re-released on those Evercade things. And I added a new game, the very first SpongeBob video game ever released, Legend of the Lost Spatula. I mean, I don't know how likely that is, but it would be neat for historical purposes at least. At least. But then we have Pokemon Pinball, Pokemon Puzzle Challenge, and the second exclusive to Japan Pokemon trading card game, video game. Why are these Pokemon Puzzle Challenge, especially in Pokemon Pinball, like why are what's the why are these two not in the service yet? I don't get it. Especially because it's the 30th anniversary of Pokemon. Speaking of which, can I'm really I'm still kind of baffled that they actually re-released Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green like their own standalone re-releases. Mm, they're $20. Of course you would do that. Of course you will do that. Pokemon Company, and yeah, that's a great idea. And also, po- uh, last remaining Kirby games, Kirby's Pinball Land and Kirby's Block Ball. For some reason, these two games are still not available yet. I have no idea why. How laboratory and Nintendo, what's the hold up with these two games? It's Kirby. It's not like Star Tropics 2, like you hate Star Tropics and all of that, but you freaking love Kirby, so what are you, stupid? And now for the last section for the available platforms, the Game Boy Advance, starting with, of course, the Donkey Kong Country trilogy. Oh yeah, Donkey Kong Country on the Game Boy Color too. I forgot about that one. Yeah, they're very different versions. Like they're based off the SNES originals. They have a lot of differences. So for historical purposes and whatever, they put those four Donkey Kings in the service, please. Also, we have Wade Hickston's Counterpunch, Mario Golf and Mario Tennis, Wario World Twisted, Grill Dozer, Hemtaro again, SpongeBob again, Clonoa the second one. I'm first pleasantly surprised that the first Clonoa and GBA actually got re-released on Switch Online. Rayman Advance got re-released in that 30th anniversary collection. The Starfy games got re-released, but Of course, they didn't localize those games. Of course, they wouldn't do that. Though Dragon Advance actually got its own standalone re-release, and the Crash Bandicoot games, Entrance and Xylophone Saxophone, and Nitro Kart, a couple of the Dragon Ball Z games like Legacy of Goku 2 and Advanced Adventure and Super Sonic Warriors, Tomato Adventure, Banjo Kazooie Grunty's Revenge, and a couple of new additions of Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. Freaking love that game. It's one of my all-time favorite games. Believe it or not. Um, Pucky and Rocky with Becky. I think I mentioned that one last time. And Street Fighter Alpha 3 Upper. Um, and very impressive port of the arcade game with new characters and stuff. Funnily enough, made by the same people who made Nicktoons Racing on the Game Boy Advance. Uh, Can you, fun fact. Oh yeah, and the best for last, I think. Maybe the Sonic games. All of the good ones, not that one. Not that one, you know the one. Sonic Advance Trilogy and Sonic Battle. It's the 35th anniversary of Sonic. Sega, you should re-release those games, or at least let Nintendo put them on Switch Online. Like, come on, are you serious? Are we seriously getting a re-release of Frontiers before a re-release of the Sonic Advance games? What are you doing, Sega? And finally, the miscellaneous section, starting with new platforms. Of course, the TurboGrafx 16 and the Master System and Game Gear seem they would be nice, you know. And now for the real stuff. Well, besides the Saturn and the Dreamcast, I don't think that's ever gonna happen. You know what I think could really happen, especially on the Switch too? The Nintendo DS. I think is we're overdue for the DS to get added to Switch Online. I freaking love the DS. Has some of my all-time favorite games ever. You could implement the microphone and touchscreen with in the Switch 2 fairly easily with the mouse and the built-in microphone. Oh yeah, I put a separate like spot here for Nestor's Funky Bowling. The other platform I think maybe could happen is the Nintendo Wii. Of course, like I don't know how likely that one is. I mean, I can believe the GameCube, but the Wii, I still not entirely sure about that one, especially with certain re-releases of Wii games that they've been doing lately. Mario Galaxy 1, 2, I don't know. The Pokemon Mini, I still really want to see the Pokemon Mini get some sort of re-release for their library. And now the final like spots I put here. First off, we actually got Yakuza ports both for the Switch 1 and Switch 2. That's nice. But I still really want Half-Life 2 on the Switch. 2. That's right. If I cannot get Half-Life 2 on the Switch 1, can I at least get it for the Switch 2? Kevin, please, please. I've been waiting since the Switch was available on March 2017. It's been nearly 10 years. 9 years. 9 years waiting for Half-Life 2 on the Switch. I have to wait more time Half-Life 2 on the Switch too. Man, I put here Metroid Prime 2 remaster. That would be really nice, you know. I loved Metroid Prime remaster. Really made me. It really made me on. It's really good. This game. It's so freaking good, man. And finally, the last thing I'm going to talk about in this video. Why is there no Tekken game on Nintendo Switch? You put the guy, the guy from Tekken in Smash Brothers, and you didn't even think about putting a Tekken video game on the Nintendo Switch family of systems. Bandai Namco? What the hell is wrong with you? Why are you so allergic to releasing Tekken games? Could you at least put the old ass Tekken games, 1, 2, 3, and tag tournaments on the Switch? Well, at least the Switch too. But no, you, you, you've done jack for the Nintendo audience. You put the guy from Tekken in the biggest crossover game ever. And they didn't capitalize. You didn't capitalize on it. You're so stupid for this. You at least put the Tekken Game Boy Advance game on Switch Online? Come on, man. Like, is it really? Is it really that difficult? Bam, bam, cool. Uh, yeah, that's it. This is all. This is all I have to talk about in this video. I think I covered everything. Maybe I forgot something like last time. Sorry if this video took so long to put together. I really missed the first quarter of 2025 to making no videos, huh? Typical. That's it's really how I operate still, huh? Well, hopefully, mm, I- I- please, please, God, let me make more videos this year. I, I, I promise you, the next video is going to be a real one, a real video that's not a discussion or anything. Like, one of these stupid discussions, and an actual substantial video that's not just another discussion. Maybe. Uh, well, thank you so much for watching and waiting for this. I know very few people watch my my content. I really appreciate that you watch this. The very few of you. Um, hope you have a nice day, and I see you. I'll hopefully see you later. Thanks everyone.